Okay, we're mamish finishing off.
We're guessing.
Yes, thank you very much for joining us. It's unbelievable. We're finishing off the Mesechtes. Oh, hear this?
Yeah.
Right. That's it.
Okay.
That's it, Rebbe.
Okay, good. So it's gewaldic. We're finishing. Oh yeah! Wow! Yibakuk. This is good.
Yeah, okay.
It's like natural. It doesn't even.
I'm trying to make it the way when the guys speak, it should be.
It doesn't even sound like if it's not like.
Good.
Right, it's good.
Better than my
Yeah,
Okay.
very good. Very good. Very good. Yeah. Yeah, it was good. Ken,
Don't remind us.
it's a shame. It was very nice. We have beautiful. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you won't bank. No, it's very nice. That is nice. Okay, it's a beautiful thing. We're finishing the Gemara. Oh, yeah, Mamish. No. This is kindness. So we're pushing getting to the end of our Gemara. I don't want to forget before we start. It's Daf Lamed Daled. We're holding Daf Lamed Daled Amud Aleph. The last three lines. Daf Lamed Daled Amud Aleph. The last three lines.
Avi knows it by heart.
It's beautiful.
He knows about that.
Before we start, everyone that's Mishtat Kavua here, do me a favor if you want tonight. We're being Messiah tonight in Mitzvah Shem. Like I said, I typed up some of the shurim that we had, and I have it on a file. I just have to send it to printer. But I want to give opportunity everyone that's a Mishtat of Kavu in the Shir, write if you want to write names and put Agdosha. I can even write it up. Just give me the names if you want. Hatzlocha, Lerefua, Brochos and Kala, whatever you want for yourself, for your member of the family. Avi, if you want, you can write the names yourself, your daughters. I'll write up already. Just we can put at the end Hagdoshas for everyone that's a Mishtat of Kavu in the Shir. You can write on a piece of paper. Give her the bills. I don't even know. I have to go to print to find out how much it's going to cost me to print. I can't imagine it costs that much. I'm paying the guy who typeset it. Not type. I've typed it, but whatever. He told me it'll be probably about $1,200. How much are you going to cost me to print? What?
A lot.
Nah,
Very expensive.
Nah. I'll print 100 copies.
Okay.
Fine. I don't think it'll be very expensive. And I want if we're going to
between 100 and 500 would be nothing.
No, but what do we need more than 100
The
copies?
price point.
I know, but I'll see. I'll go in the store and I'll see. I'll go into the printing shop. In the meantime, everything is ready. It's 100% ready. I even wrote up Pesach Dover. I put the date Chai Elul because I figured like just in case it gets stuck in the printing shop. And it's Alter Rebbe's Yom Haledes. Chai Elul is a beautiful time. We'll make a big fabrengen. We can use the mic. We have already the mic.
You don't need to print the physical paper.
Right. I have the whole file. Everything is ready. Everything. Mamish, the only thing I'm waiting is I want to put in, last week I forgot, I want to put in Haggadoshas for everyone that's a Mishtat of Kavu in the Shir, and then we're ready. We're done. Like I said, everything, even the Pesach Dov and the date, I already signed it. I put Chai Elul. It's done. Okay. Talk to Gemara, last three lines. Ton Rabon. Elu Brochos she'adam shoycha behem ba'avos tchila v'soif v'yidot tchila v'soif. These are the brachas where a person bows. When there's two brachas in davening that are the most important. Avos and Eidos. What's Avos? Avos is the first bracha. Like we're saying that this is, we're praising Hashem. It's Yichud Hashem. Also Eidah. In a way, bracha is the first of the first three brachas, and Eidah is the first moedim, is the first of the last three brachas. It's very important that the kavanah there is very. Oh, Bencha. Well, you like it? You like the new system?
Yeah.
That's nice, huh?
Oh, and sweet cap.
Oh, very good.
Especially for you.
Everything. You couldn't ask for better.
Where are we, Lamed Daled?
Lamed Daled, Amud Aleph, the last three lines. Ton Rabon. Elu brochos adam sheichem. These are the brochos that a person bows. Be'avis tchila v'soif. Be'idah tchila v'soif. Avis is the first of the first three brachas, and Idah is Moedim, the first of the last three brachas. And these are the most important brachas, first of all, because it requires the most kavan of the person, and also it's at the bracha itself. It's Yichud Hashem. So this is where Chacham decided a person should bow b'tchila v'soif. Okay. Tomorrow we'll learn more the halachas about it in Al Dereh B'Shulchan Aruch. So this is where we bow. There is the Avud Raham brings Yerushalmi. We don't have such a Yerushalmi. It says by this Eved Avram, by Eliezer came to find a wife for Yitzchak. And when he spoke to Besuel and to Lavan, he said, Ve'ekod ve'shtachev al Hashem, va'avorcho es Hashem alakei Adoni Avram. He was very happy when he found Rivka by the well. So he said, "Ve'ekod v'shtachev al Hashem, va'avorcho es Hashem alakei Adoni Avram." The Yerushalmi says there's a double lotion, ve'ekod v'shtachev. So we learn from here that whenever we mention Elokei Adoni Avram, which is Baruch Atah Hashem Mogen Avram, the first Baruch Shemon Esrei, that we do our double Ishtachava, ve'ekod v'shtachev, which is right in the beginning, Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu Elokei Avosenu, and Baruch Atah Hashem Mogen Avram.
Not because you sign Shemona, so that's why you do the Shtachel, like opening of Shtachel.
That's what Pashtas. I'm just saying that the Buddha brings another Yerushalmi, an extra thing that, yeah.
What is Hatov Shimchor Leponel Hodos? That's because we vowed 2 times more even there.
So, yeah. So we tried it out. It's very good. It's not standard. It's terrific. You see? Yeah, sure.
It was a test.
It was a test. It's beautiful. It's mamish beautiful. There was no echo. There's no nothing. You hear it
I
nice.
can make a coffee now.
It's like if we had this that night, everyone could hear every word. It doesn't matter when we will do the next Fabrengen. I'm gonna. Yeah, this next week we're having a Fabrengen. I asked. There's a shliach in Russia. The city is like half finished. There's a city.
What day?
Next week. Yeah.
Yeah, like that. So what about Lechona El?
That's the. That's the end. That's the final. That's the beginning of Moedim. Moedim Anach Naloch. This is the end of Moedim.
Is that why we bow 2 times?
Right. We bow once when we start. Baruch Hashem Elokeinu Elokei Avosenu. And the Zohar says we'll learn about it tomorrow. That Baruch, and how we do it with the Baruch and the Ata, but we bow in that bracha, right, in the beginning and at the end. And by Moedim we bow in the beginning and at the end. Zog the Gemara. Continue in the Brais of Imbala Shuach B'Soif Kol Baracha Baracha B'Tchilas Kol Baracha Baracha. If a person wants to do it at the end of the beginning of every bracha, Malam Denoisa Shalom Yishcha. We teach him that he shouldn't do it. Why shouldn't he do it? Tosfos says, "In time of Yishcha, what do you care? The guy he's a big expert tzaddik. He wants to bow more." So the answer is V'Yishlema Shlo Yover Laker Divrei Torah Shlo Yomer Kol Echad Machmer Kamoy Shuroitza Ven Kan Tekonas Chachamim. If people are going to do extra, then it's like I spoke about this once. That the Rebbe says that when a person if you add to the Torah, you start taking away. Because if a person says I could add, it's the same price that I could add to the Torah, I could take away. So he becomes very expert Yiddish Shemayim, and he's bowing more. And then if he could decide how many times to bow, so today he decided to do double, and tomorrow he'll do half the amount. So we say, don't be, just do what Chacham said. Tomorrow, again, we'll learn tomorrow the halachas, exactly when you're allowed to, when you're not allowed to. Sometimes you are allowed to. We'll learn all the details of it tomorrow in the Shulchan Aruch. A regular person, as we said before, that you have to bow twice in Shemona Esrei. By Avos Tchila V'Soif and by Edah Tchila V'Soif. However, Kohen Gadol, B'Soif Kol Bracha Bracha. The Kohen Gadol
at the end of every bracha. V'amelech even more. Tchila kol bracha u'bracha v'soif kol bracha u'bracha. But the more a higher level it is, the more he has to be dovuk to the Eibishter, right? So the Gemara says, Amr Rabbi Yitzchak bar Nachmani, Rabbi Yitzchak bar Nachmani said, no. I heard from Rabbi Shimon Levi. Not like Rabbi Shimon Bepezi said the name Rabbi Shimon Levi. I heard differently from Rabbi Shimon Levi. And I heard it befedish from him, that Rabbi Nachman and Rabbi Yitzchak said that Mefashli Menor, that Rabbi Shimon Levi had yet a regular person, that he does it twice, once in the office and once he does, but Chila B'Seif. Kohen Gadol, Betchila, and the Gemara adds B'Seif. Betchila B'Seif kol bracha bracha, because this shita wants to say more. So, and what is he saying more? He's instead of saying Seif kol bracha, Tchila kol bracha, it doesn't make sense. It makes sense, like the Noida B'Yehuda, that he wants to add. So he's saying not only that the Kohen Gadol does it once every bracha, but he does it twice every bracha. Tchila B'Seif kol bracha bracha. Melech given shakara shuv einoi zoyke. The Melech bows in the beginning of Shemona Esrei, and the whole Shemona Esrei he's down. The whole Shemona Esrei he's down. Then Shenem, as it says, Vayike chalois Shlomo lispalo, when Shlomo finished the tefillah, come melifnei mizbach Hashem and mikroi al birkov. That sounds exactly. When he finished davening, that's when he got up. It sounds like the entire tefillah he was on one long ishtachavoya. So the Rambam says, because the Melech is very important, Libo is Leiv called Yisrael. So the Eibush is very makpid that the Leiv or the Melech should be very honored, should be very humble. Just the opposite of the Melech of Goyim, which when you're a king in Moscow and your name is Vladimir Putin, so the bigger the king, the more people you have to kill. But the Torah was makpid that the Melech Yisrael has to be super onav. He should be more shuffle than everyone else. Not that he's more gaiva than everyone else. The opposite. That the Torah is very makpid that the leiv of the Melech should be very dovuk and very humble. Very humble. It's an unbelievable thing. Today when we look at people that are running for all public office, if the current president, Mr. Biden, or the previous president, Mr. Donald Trump, or the next president, who knows who will be,
Donald Trump.
So these people don't seem very humble. Gaiva is unbelievable. But Rambam says that the Torah is very makpid, that the Melech Yisrael, that his heart should be very humble. So therefore, he asks when he does tefillah and he's mevatel himself to Hashem, he does it on the highest level. The entire tefillah so'amidah, the entire Shemona Esrei, he bows the entire thing. So again, there is what a Hedjit does, what a Kohen Gadol does, and what a Melech does. And always the Melech does more, just that the second opinion is it's mamish, it's much more. The Shemona Esrei, he bowed. Out getting up once. Nothing. Doesn't get up once. Tana Rabbanon. Continue in the Gemara with Aflamed Hey Amad Beis, like 7 lines from the top. Tana Rabbanon. Kida, there's 3 types of bowing. Kida al apayim, that means he falls on his face. The Ibn Ezra says in the beginning of Bereshis, when we say apayim means face in Hebrew. Even though apayim is the nose, but the main thing when you see in a person's face, first as you see, the most recognizable is the nose. That's why in Lashon Ivri and Lashon Kodesh, af could mean nose, but apayim means face, because the recognizable part of the face is the nose. So kida al apayim, it means that he falls on his face. Shenemar v'atikud ba sheva apayim eretz. Kriya ala berkaim, shnema mikroi al birkav. Ishtachavoy zu pishet yudayim veraglaim, shnema ravoy nova yani v'imcha v'achecha lishtachavos l'cha. So we see from here that ishtachavoy zu pishet yudayim veraglaim.
Ishtachavoy is the most severe.
Yeah,
it's the
strongest, right? Strongest. Now the Maharsha says in this Gemara, there's a Gemara that Chavbez and Megillah, that really all 3 of these are the same thing. It's just the question is how he gets to the ground. Kida means that guy could fall like this. We're not concerned how he's getting to the ground. The idea of Kida is on the ground. He could fall like this if he knows how to do it. If he fall down, 1 second, and he's on his face. The second level is Mikroya al Birkov, that he gets down, that he first is on his knees, and then he bends down. Like you see Arabs do all the time. That it's first Korea al Birkov, and then he goes down. And then the last one is that it's plus, that he goes down, and then it's not like you see the Arabs. The Arabs go, it's Pishut Yudayim V'Raglayim. Now, we very careful not to do Pishut Yudayim V'Raglayim, because you're not allowed to do Pishut Yudayim V'Raglayim if it's on rocks, unless it's in the base of Mikdash. So we're careful about Pishut Yudayim V'Raglayim, as the Gemara is going to say in a second, yeah?
Saying that,
Right. Right.
We've seen people like go down all the way.
Right. Yeah, we go down, but we're supposed to. Yeah, but no, over there you're supposed to go down on the Bechheim and then go down. Yeah.
We don't do that. Is that because of that's what they do in certain idols?
Look, the Torah says, it could be the reason the Torah says so, but the Torah says that you're only allowed to, we learn it from the Psukim, you're only allowed to bow on rocks, in the Beis HaMikdash. That type of like laying out flat for Hashem is only in the Beis HaMikdash. Now, it could be the reason why, because usually we don't ask question why the mitzvah is in a certain way. Although you could ask the question, and every mitzvah has a logic and has a reason, and you could ask, but
Torah says that I've no more questions.
Right. Okay. So these are the three ways. So as the Mashal says, it's not the point. Either way, he's getting down on the ground to be mishtachava. Question is how he gets there. The Gemara says, the matzli atzlui, when they bowed, they turned the face a little to the side. But Rashi says, "Ein poishtim yedeim v'raglayim." Why? Because if there's a rock floor, it's also to do. So even if it's now not a rock floor, they wanted to be extra careful, so they never did the idea of pishut yadayim v'raglayim. The Rashi in Megillah says a different pshat. It's funny. The Rashi in Megillah says that the pshat is that if a person bows down and Hashem doesn't answer his tefillas, it's like only a person that knows for sure Hashem is going to answer his tefillas is allowed to be mispalal.
Anyone knows?
Right.
Anyone in this world knows?
Yeshua Binun. The Gemara says Yeshua Binun. So that's why it's our minig that when we do Nefilas Apayim, the Shulchan Aruch brings that Rashi, that when we do the minig is to do Nefilas Apayim, which the word Nefilas Apayim means Yinoifel al Apov, that means he falls on his face. It means literally to go down on the ground. But our minig is not to go down on the ground. Our minig is to go like this. Why? Because of the way Rashi explains it. Rashi explains that Abaye Berova, he says, that doesn't really fit in the Hemshech Gemara, but he did that Abaye Berova, he brings this thing that only if you're like Yeshua Banun, you know for sure God is going to answer your prayer, and we're not so sure God is going to answer our prayer, so therefore we go like this. We don't do the full Nefilas Apayim. Like the Gemara continue. Tani Choda, we learned in one place, an Abraisa, Hakureya, it's great. In the other place we learned it's terrible. So the Gemara says loikash. If betchila is a good thing. If at the end it's a bad thing. So all the Mefarshim says, what do you mean? We said before that by moedim you're kerei tchila v'soif. So what are you telling me that by moedim betchila is good and the end it's bad? So some say no, it's just a machloikis of braises, and we take a paskin like the first braise. And as the Gemara says, going to say that Rava, it says Rava korabei dot chila v'soif. Amar Rabbanan amai kovid marochi. Why did you do this? I saw Reb Nachman do this. That he did by moedim tchila v'soif. I saw Reb Sheish is doing it. So why couldn't he bring the previous Braisa? The Pashto is because it's a Braisa against a Braisa. So he says, but I saw my Rebbe did it, Nachman did it, Sheish did it, and that's the way we pass, and that's what we do. And that's one pshat. And the other pshat in the Rishonim that Ivet says That here we're talking about a different type. We're talking moedim derabonon. Moedim derabonon that they're supposed to be korei only in the beginning, not at the end. The shliach tzibur says it betchila and the he bows twice. But with the people, the tzibur, they say moedim, but they don't bow twice in moedim. That's the way that Ravid. But the Ravid is a little funny. But then the Gemara says that Rava did the tchila v'asay. So why am I not doing like Rava? The first pshat seems more what we paskin like. That really it's a machloikis between the braises. By moedim, if you bow twice or once, and we paskin twice, tchila v'asay, because that's what Rava did, and that's what Abaya did, and that's what Rav Nachman did, and that's what Rav Sheshes did.
How come they don't say nothing about Alem?
We will talk about this tomorrow in the halacha, because we said we're not allowed to do extra. But we see on Yom Kippur, we have a minhag that we bow down 5 times. By Baruch we have all kinds of things that we do. The Gemara said not to be moisav. That the Gemara said malam den oisoi, that they teach the person, and Meforshim say, what does it mean we teach him? It's like a funny. What do you mean malam den oisoi shelo yishcha? Is the Meforshim say, because if you see a person bowing extra, you're not allowed to scream at him. He's a middle shmanasa. You have to let him finish.
Take it easy.
Take it easy. Tell him, don't listen to Reuven. You should know for the next time that you only do be'ava. Be'ava is tchila v'seif, and you only do be'ida tchila v'seif. But you don't scream at him in the middle of shmanasa. Be it as it may, we're going to learn tomorrow, but 1 second, we bow by Baruch Hu, we bow Yom Kippur, we go down on the ground. Didn't we say here that the malam den oiseh shelo yishchad, you shouldn't do more than just, so we'll answer it. We'll answer that. It's also the Alter Rebbe is going to answer the next piece of Gemara, which also is we have to clarify in halacha, because the Gemara says, Batanya, we learned in a Braisa, Kereh Beidah, Harei Zeh Meguna. We said in the Braisa that Kriya Beidah is Meguna, it's not good. Moedim. So what do you mean? So Gemara Hiba Hoidah Shema Halal. We're talking when you say Hoidah Hashem and Halal. Batanya Kereh Beidah Ubeidah Shalal is Meguna. So the Gemara Kitanya Beidah the Bechas Amaz, which is Noidelacha. By Noidelacha Bechas Amaz, and by Hoidah Hashem Kitoiv of Halal, you're not supposed to bow. Why? So some of the Rishonim here say that the Brandero and the Rabia, because it's as if he's a big Balgaiva. You know, everyone bows by Heidah, by Moedim Mishmanesa.
He's moist. I'm machmer.
I'm a big machim. So that's not good that a person is a big machim. But the Alter Rebbe, we'll see tomorrow, the Alter Rebbe doesn't say, he says a different interesting reason. He says that the Pirush HaMilas of Hoidah could mean different things. When we say Noida L'cha, or we say Hoidah Hashem Kitov, we don't mean we're Moida to you. We mean we're thanking you. And we're saying Moida, we see we're Moida to you. It's a different shot. The word is almost the same. Noida L'cha Hashem L'kenu Shechal Tavzeh Eretzchem D'Tov Rechava. Also, Shmanesa, we say Moida Manachnu Loch Shato Hashem L'kenu V'L'kei V'Seinu. But no, because every Moida means a different thing. By Moida Manachnu Loch, the Hoidah means we're mevatlas. And because we're saying we're being mevatal ourselves, we're being bittul to you, Hashem.
That's a good question. Why don't we bow by
Because it's a different type of Hoidah. Because it's not the full Hoidah. It's a Hoidah, like it says in Chassidus, which didn't come fully. In the Shemon Esra, a person really feels it fully, and that's when he bows down. The Gashmi is he bows to the Eivishter, because he feels that Hoidah. That's Hoidah in Shemon Esra. But Noida L'cha,
I'm saying Modeh Ani.
right?
I'm even saying Ani.
Ani, but you don't feel it fully until you get to Shemon Esra, and that's when you bow. The truth is, in the morning is also a minig that's brought by the Frierdiker Rebbe. He brings it as a minig poshet. I'm not sure outside Chabad if this is a minig or not, but to go to bow your head and to, like this. But that's a different. It's a little different. Yeah,
It's not like Shachavoah. It's not clear in
right.
Shachavoah.
Moidani. That's the one the Frierdiker Rebbe says that the minig was to go like this. Moidani lefenechem elachai v'kayim, like this. Not like this. I don't think so. I mean, this is very goyish way. I think what the Frierdiker Rebbe wants like this. It doesn't say to put it
Like this, Hamsa.
I don't think Hamsa. That's not also Hamsa. Like this.
Like
this.
One of the simple.
The by I checked him out till Sidoyim, the Morgan from brings from the Zoya like this, which is like this.
This is what?
This is Moedan Lilafanecha Melachai Vikayom. Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu Chom HaSheker D'Shonim Mitzvos Al Natil Sidoyim. That's what the Morgan from brings from the Zoya.
Right.
Like this. I'm saying different, not like this, and not Chamsa. Like this and like this. That's by Ash. That's not Moedani. That's not Moedani. We say we want cash.
But this
You got it. Huh?
If you put it together, the question.
Yeah, I don't think that's what the I think he meant
One
like
of the
this.
emojis in the telephone.
What?
One of the emojis in the telephone.
Yeah.
I
think so.
use it a lot.
It's not like it's not Chaz v'Shalom. Yeah, you say thank you to someone. Yeah. It's not Chaz v'Shalom.
Not goyish.
Nah, and I don't mean goyish like that. Tumah, not Chaz v'Shalom, tumah, but you know, whatever. It's more. Yeah, that. Okay, back to our Gemara. Oh, so why did the Alter Rebbe says that the problem of bowing by Noidelacha is that it's a foolishness. Noidelacha means thank you Hashem for the food, and Hoidel Hashem Kitoiv means I thank you Hashem for the nis. So when you're bowing, it means you don't understand Peter Shemilas. You know, as they say in Yiddish, you're hacking a china. You're draining a cup. You don't understand what you're saying. It's like you're saying an answer and you're going like this. This you go like when you ask the question. You know, you're doing the wrong movements. You're dancing, you know, and you're doing the wrong movements. But therefore, the Alter Rebbe holds that when a person's Korei Mishtachim out of great, like the Gemara says that Rabbi Akiva used to be Korei Mishtachim, you find them one part of the room and you find them in the other end of the room. The Alter Rebbe says that's not a problem. The only problem when the Gemara says it's a problem, that's why you see the beauty of the Alter Rebbe's word. If you say that the idea is because it's gaiva, so then you're never allowed to do it. But the Alter Rebbe says no. When the Gemara says you're not allowed to do by Oidah of halal and by Oidah of Noidelacha in Birkas Hamazon, it's because it doesn't fit. That bound doesn't fit. What you're saying? Thank you, Hashem. Moedim anachnu lach shmanesra. We're saying ich be moedim. And that's like Chassidus says, the Moedim Manachnu Shmonesa doesn't mean thank you. 1 second, it doesn't mean thank you.
Right.
And Moedim Manachnu Shmonesa doesn't mean thank you. That Chassidus always says that Moedim Manachnu Shmonesa means we had a dispute. And finally, the end of Shmonesa said, what was the dispute? Chassidus says, we had an argument with the Rebbeinu Shalom. Because the Rebbeinu Shalom has a perspective that Lamayla Yesh or Lamata Ayin. That Elakus is Metzias, and this world is nothing. But in our mind, it's the other way. It's fadreit. We think that lamata yesh, lamayla ayin. At the end of Shemona Esrei, when we're ready, so we're in such a yisodidus, we say moedim anachnu lach, moedim chachamim leremeir. We're moedim, we bow. Du bist gerecht. You're right, Rebbeinu Shalom. We realize that this world is nothing. Lamata yesh, no. Lamata ayin. It's nothing. Lamayla yesh. So if we go up Chassidus, understand very well. Now we're bowing. Shenkin Noidelacha in Birkas Hamazon and Hoidel Hashem in Halal is saying thank you Hashem for the nis. Okay. Zog the Mishnah Maspal, but a person that makes the tefillah. Pasha talking about Shemona Esrei, and the Mishnah is going to say it makes no difference either way. Siman alloy, it's a bad siman. Vim shlich tzibur siman alloy shoylchav. It's a bad sim. Yeah. No, but you have to realize that the whole tzibur.
No.
Yeah.
Mulik sent Johnny, go down.
The shoylchav. Yeah. Shmuel came back quickly. Since we're already talking on a negative side, the Gemara wants to finish off on a positive. The Mishnah wants to finish on a positive. We said that if he makes a mistake in the tefillah, it's a bad sim. So now we want to say if the tefillah is geschmiert, if it goes very well, it's a good sim. Amar Rav Chanina ben Doisa, they said about Rav Chanina ben Doisa, mispal ala cholim. He would mispal on sick people. He would say, this guy's going to live, this guy's going to die. Amar Loi, they said, Menana today, how do you know? Amar Lahem, he said, Im shkura tefillah sebefi. If the tefillah goes geschmiert, it's shagud. It goes, whatever I want to say, Rashi says, rolls off my tongue. Rashi, Im sedura tefillah sebefi b'merutz v'en nichshol v'tacha nusay v'tacha v'tchinos. Whatever I wanted to say rolls off my tongue, easy off my tongue.
Even Rabbi Chanina ben Dosa, he's talking about
He said,
himself.
yeah, he said, then, Yadani Shumakubal, Vimlav, Shumaturif. What is Maturif? Rashi says, Turf Meloshan, Zayf Yitrif, Turf and like philosophy, the fun of, or the Chayla is Maturif. So the Aruch says Meloshan Treifa, that the person Nebuch is a Treifa, is going to die. So there's a story about Reb Hillel Paracher that in the days of the Tzemach Tzedek, there were the Chassidim became that was the golden age of Chassidim. It was not only about Tzemach Tzedek, but all Chassidish Rebbes. Talking 1850, 1860, 1870, so these were after that were pogroms and there were tzoras even left America, but it was a golden age of Chassidim, and there were hundreds of thousands of Chassidim, Chabad Chassidim, and in far places that Tzemach Tzedek they said they want to be connected, but they couldn't. It wasn't like they take a flight. It was very hard. Chassidim used to come at that time from Moldova to Lubavitch. You think about it. Even today, if you go from Moldova to Lubavitch, you probably take a 2-hour plane ride. So if you went to horse and buggy, you can imagine what it was. So the Tzemach Tzedek called it a Bill Paracha, and he asked him that he should go travel to far places. Bill Paracha was a big poisek. The Beis Halevi used to ask him shaylos. It was a big poisek. He was a big tzaddik, and he asked. So he said he'll do it if he teaches him how to take a kvittel. And the Tzemach Tzedek taught him. That's the story. I don't know. Apparently, there's tricks, as we see from the Mishnah, that there's a trick of how to take a kvittel. And Reb Chanina ben Dosa said, I know right away. If tefillah shkura sebefi, it's good. If it rolls off my tongue, chai. And if it's not going to roll off my tongue, I know the opposite. The Ben Yehoyada asks a question. Why would he go tell people if they're going to live or they're going to die? So Ben Yehoyada says that maybe the pshat is that he gave them a remes. So they should know what to do. But I was thinking that there's a story from the Rebbe that the Rebbe once told Nasicha. The Rebbe said that there was a Rebbe, the Rebbe Rashab. The Rebbe Rashab didn't want to be a Rebbe. And they had a dispute with his brother. His brother was older brother. He said, you're the Rebbe. The older brother didn't want. For many years, finally, the Chassidim decided that Rebbe Rashab is the Rebbe, and that's it. So what happened was, there was a Yid that came to ask for a broch. And the Rebbe Rashab told him, I can't help him. So the person walked out and he started to cry. It's a broch, and he had a big tzara. And he came to Lubavitch, and he came to the young Rebbe. The Rebbe said, I can't help him. Punkt 2 walks by, the older brother, Rebbe Zalman Aaron. What happened? He told him what happened. Wait a minute. Walks into the older brother. What chutzpah is this? What chutzpah is this? A guy comes to you, it's a brochen, come to a Rebbe, that's what a Rebbe is, that's what you do. Rebbe Rashab said, okay, tell the person to come back. The person came back, Rebbe Rashab gave him an unbelievable brochen, and whatever the problem was, everything was straightened out. This is the story. The Rebbe asked that the Fabrengen, sounds like a cute story, like an older brother giving Musa to a younger brother. The Rebbe Rashab, as we know him, was a sharp like attack. Rebbe Rashab was what we call the Rambam of Torah Chassidus. Even when he was young, it was not. So he said, the Rebbe said the view is like this: that the Rebbe Rashab, when the person came in, he saw that he was not a keli for a bracha. He'd give him a bracha, but the bracha is going to go nowhere. The bracha is not going to go. It's like it says in Chassidus that you can only have the Gishmei Brocha is going to come on a field. If you planted the field, it's going to grow. But if you didn't plant the field, it's not going to grow. So it's not going to help to have Gishmei Brocha. It has to be Kosis Lamo'or. Kosis, you have to break up. And the Yiddish, in order for the more than the neshama to come, it has to be, and the person is not a leiv nishbar v'nitka, and he saw that the person is not a leiv nishbar, and therefore, whatever bracha is going to give him, it's not going to work anyway. So he told him, I can't help you, not because he didn't want to help him. He told him, I can't help you because he was hoping that he's going to become a leiv nishbar from the fact that he told him, I can't help you. So when his brother came and gave him Musar, so it's not the pshat that his brother came and gave him Musar. It's, oh, I forgot what I'm supposed to do as a Rebbe. Thank you for letting me know. The pshat is that when his brother came and told him that this guy is crying, so he realized that he is a keli, and therefore he asked him to come back, and he gave him a broch. So perhaps the same pshat is here in the Mishnah. Rebbe Chanina ben Dois, who loved every Yid. So if he saw tefillah, so he saw that the tefillah is niskabel. So he told him right away, go home, you're going to live, your son is going to live, your daughter is going to live, your wife is going to live. And the person went home, believe sameach. But if he saw that Nebuchad's tefillah was not niskabel, so he would tell the person right away, because maybe the guy is going to have a leiv nishbar, and he's going to do such a tshuva that it's going to break the heaven. And therefore the Yid will live. So Rav Chanina ben Doisa tried. Right. It's always a net positive. If he told him Yichya, so Yid goes home with a happy heart. And if he never saw that that his bracha is not going to work, so he didn't just say nothing. He told him something very rough, because he wanted the Yid to have a leiv nishbar, and through that maybe he's going to do tshuva, and maybe it'll break the gzeira.
So why doesn't tell him direct? Make sure. Instead, make him feel.
That's what right.
Yeah,
Exactly. Okay, so if you tell a person cry, it's very hard to tell a person cry. Now cry. You have to hit the right buttons. Okay. Zog the Gemara, hey, which bracha, if a person says in the tefillah and he ends up making a toes, it's a bad simon. Amar Reb Chia, Amar Reb Safra, Mishum Chad, Vei Rabbi, Be'ovis. If he makes a mistake in ovis, that's terrible. That's a simara. Yikedamas la Brais. Others learned to Brais. It says, I'm a spalo, Tzara Shecham Alibi Bekulon. A person's maspal has to be macham every one of the 18 or 19 brachas. If he can't be macham all of them, at least one of them. Which is that one bracha that you must have? Kavana, be'avis, and avis.
Kavana or understanding?
You don't understand.
Kavana is saying the same thing different. How can you have kavana if you don't understand what you're saying? Most American doesn't understand what you're saying.
Probably it's a good question. The Shulchan Aruch says that in Tur and Sima Kof Aleph, that if in the first bracha you didn't have kavana, you have to say over that bracha, because we say the first bracha is critical. If he makes a mistake, it's a semana. If he was machaven, he didn't. It's tzarich lechaven. So therefore, if you made a mistake, you have to go back and say the tefillah again. The Torah says bezmanaz, that's not our minig. If you made a mistake in krishma, and not mistake. If you were not machaven the first pasuk krishma, you're choizer. But in tefillah, we say the guy is going to say it over 10 times. It's still not going to machaven. Forget about it. So the Stipler Rav Zachron Lebroch, the Kelos Yaakov says, "I'll look to Shishayla, but it's a chap." He says, "What happens? In the middle of the bracha? I realized I'm not being machav. So the chayre, if I'm going to finish a bracha, I said a bracha levatol."
And you go back to the main.
Yeah. So is the Charai says that when we said that you have to say it over, because if you didn't have kavana, you were not yoytze. It doesn't mean you were not yoytze. It means you were not yoytze. The chavasoi, the proper tefillah, you were not yoytze, but you were yoytze. Doesn't means you were not yoytze properly. There is sometimes we say such a thing. We say lo kiyamta mitzvah miyamecha. Whatever it's in the. They don't mean that. It meant, that you didn't do it properly. So therefore, the Torah says that Bizman Hazeh, that people are going to say it over a second time, Shmones, it's not going to help. So forget about it. But the Kelos Yaakov says a nice chap. Since there are of somebody showing him that say, that they connect this Gemara to the previous Gemara. That just like Gabi Ishtachava, we do it and also b'moedim b'tchila v'soif. So they say also by the Smak says it. It says if you didn't machaven in the first bracha, you should try extra be machaven by moedim, because we see that moedim and ovis have a very strong just a very. It's like, if you didn't machaven so strong by first bracha shmonasa, which is obvious, be machaven by moedim. Zog the Gemara, Amar Reb Chanina, the Gemara immediately. How do we know it's not possible? Reb Chanina knew it because, he was like the whole parachute. He got from his Rebbe the secret of how you do kvitlach. But the Gemara wants to know, Taka, how do we know it's from pasuk? Amar Reb Shmuel, Amakra, Boyd Nifs V'Sem Shalom Shalom Larachah V'Lakorav, Amashem Reb Pasuk. That if the nivs for Siyum is good, then I know the tefillah is going to be good. Amar B'Chibar Abban V'Yechanan Kol Hanavim Lo Nisnam Ela Lamasi Bitei LeTalmid Choch Ulo Isa Pragmati LeTalmid Chochem Ulo Talmid Choch. All the Navim that spoke about Yemais Mashiach, they were talking about people that have one of these three schusim. He married his daughter to a Talmid Chochem. He did business. He invested money of a Talmid Chochem, or he gave tzedakah mahana to Talmid Chochem. So the Mashal says that means that a person is meschaber to a Talmid Chochem in many ways. So a shidduch is like one type of way, and through giving him advice in business or helping him seichel, and then there is through supporting him from your wallet. Is that so? So because the Yehudim that the Nevi'im say are mostly Yehud Gashmim, so he said just like Midah Keneged Midah, that you helped Talmid Chacham learn Begashmius, also you'll be zeichet to see Begashmius the fulfillment of all the promises of the Nevi'im Limoisa Mashiach. But the Yid who learns Torah himself, the schar for being Mahana Talmid Chacham is one thing. Aval for the learning Torah that we do here in Beis Menachem Mendel every night, that in itself, that knowing that the pasuk says that that no eye besides the Eibishter saw it. Yasa, this is what the Eibishter prepares for those that are machaka for the Yeshua of the Eibishter. In other words, there is a part of Yemais HaMashiach that the Nevi'im could never describe. They could describe the crust of it. And the crust of it is Midah Keneged Midah for the supporting Talmidei Chachamim. But the Yidden that learn Torah, for learning Torah every night, for making a Kriyas Sitam LaTorah, we're Zoichem Midah Keneged Midah, that we're getting to the Gilui Lakus of Losselov, that it can't, it's like Gilui Ruchni, says the Masha. You can't describe it in words. Continue, Zak the Gemara, I'm going to be on a second member. That they're trying to describe what's going to happen in Mashiach. Oh, it's unbelievable. There's nothing that could describe Olam Haba. Now, Olam Haba here could mean one or two things. Machloikis Rishonim. Either Olam Haba could mean Gan Eden, or Olam Haba could mean beyond Yemais Mashiach, which is Tchias HaMeis.
Oh, the good Olam Haba, the good Zach.
It's a good. It's for sure a good Zach. It's for sure a good Zach. The question is which good Zach we're talking about. So, that we can't describe it. Look at the Shmuel, and he's arguing with Shmuel. Shmuel said no. That there are differences only Shibud Malchis. So it's a machloikis, because Rabbi Yochanan said that all the Nevi'is that will happen, that said about Yemais Mashiach will happen in Yemais Mashiach. Shmuel says no, it might happen a different time, but Yemais Mashiach, all that's going to happen is that we're not going to have goyim giving us a shibud, but there'll be poor people even around. All the Navi is only a Aval Tzadikim Gemurim. Their reward is so big. Ein le'rosa l'kim zelosecha that you can't describe. Look at the Rebbe. And it's argument like this against the Rebbe. The Amar Rebbe Babu said, "Mokim shamalei tshuva himnim tzadikim gemur einem himnim." It's another gis einem yichaylam lamed. Where we hear in the gis in the Gemara, it's einem himnim. Shnema shalom shalom l'rochik v'lakorev. That David says shalom first to the rochik and then to the korev. So the shalom to the rochik comes first. The rochik is the Baal Tshuva. L'rochik bereish v'hader l'korev. Rabbi Yochanan said no. He teaches the pasuk Andish. My rochuk shayir rochuk midvaravere mi korev. That's a tzaddik. My korev shayir korev midvaravere. When it's rachik, he's the Baal Tshuva. So we have three machlokas near. Now, there's a few things. So we have three members and three machlokas, and they all go on the pasuk of Ayin L'Rasa L'Kim Tzaltzat Sayach Tzamachaka. That there's something in Yemosha Mashiach that cannot be described. Something awesome. Now we have three members what that's talking about. So firstly, as obviously this has to have a biur rochav b'Yosef. So about Yemosha Mashiach and Olam Haba and Chiyas HaMesim, Bli Neder next Sunday and maybe some after Shivas Matamas, so we'll figure it out. We'll do a biur nifla from the Rebbe, because anyway, this coming week is going to be Parshas Bolok, and the whole nevuah about Yemosha Mashiach. Yeah, this coming Sunday is this Shabbos Chukis, next Shabbos Bolok, and even though there's a remez in the Torah here and there about Yemosha Mashiach, but the most in the is Bolok. Bolok is the one that tells us nevuahs of Yemosha Mashiach. All the nevuahs of Bolok is the Yemosha Mashiach. So Blina that this Sunday we're going to do a biur nifla from the Rebbe, so stay tuned to that.
Why is such a schut?
Everything we'll deal with Sunday.
You have to come.
We have to come Sunday. Keep you in suspense. But I just finish off with something beautiful. There's a tshuva. The all the Mefarshim ask a question. The Rambam paskins that b'mokim shebal tshuva himnim etzdikim gemurim einem echelam lamed. So all the Mefarshim ask a kasha. It's a machlokas in the Gemara. And the Bederach Klal, there's a klal that Rabbi Yochanan Babo, Rabbi Yochanan is almost always halach like Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Babo is a Talmud. There's a klal ain't an halach Talmud Malkam Arav. Why did you decide to pass? Who told you that halach is like Rabbi Babo, not like Rabbi Yochanan? And the time is short, so when we have time, I'll focus on this more. The Rebbe brings from Mefarshim 3 tirutzim, and he slugs all three up. This taket, all the Mefarshim ask him. The Rambam Minchas Tshuva decided to pass like Rabbi Babo. Why? So 3 tirutzim in the Mefarshim, the Rebbe slugs them all up. The Rebbe says a very interesting thing. He had 2 tirutzim. One from Mashallah. Again, we'll leave it for another time. But over Gishmak and Teretz from the Shalom. But another teretz, the Rebbe says his own teretz is he brings from different svarim like Kloli Ashas that we know that whenever we paskin, if the Zohar says differently, we don't paskin like the Zohar. We go with the Talmud Bab, right? Doesn't matter what the Zohar with the Medrash, we always go with the Talmud Bab. But what happens if the Babli is not clear about something, and the Zohar is unequivocal about it? So there are from the that say then we go with the Zohar. Furthermore, there are those that say that the Rambam really did see the Zohar. It's a whole machlokes if the Rambam knew Kabbalah, didn't know Kabbalah. So the Rebbe says there's countless places in the Zohar where the Zohar says unequivocally that and also that the Zohar says that Ein Ben Olam Hazel Moshe Shich Ela Shibud Malchus Balavad, and that answers why the Rambam on the issue of Ein Ben Olam Hazel Moshe he paskin that like Shmuel, like what's the mahalach here? So why do you paskin like this like Shmuel, this like Rabbo? So the Rebbe says because in these two things the Gemara brings a machlokes, and the Gemara doesn't seem very clear, and the Zohar seems very clear. So Yois, the Gemara it's not clear, and the Zohar it's clear. They say one of my best stories about the Rebbe Levi Tzibaditcheve. The story is that he met a person who was a big Balaveda, and he grabbed him. He said, "Listen, I'm jealous of you." Chazal say that Zdonis Asam Leikas Zachuyas. So he said, "My friend, if you do tshuva, could you imagine? Your schusam will be so much more than my schusam. You're gold." So the guy said, "Okay, this is the story, but now I'm going to add the way it's brought the story in a sefer Shimas Dvorim, beautiful end." So the guy said, "Rebbe, don't worry. I do so many Avedas. Next year you'll be double jealous of me." So yeah. So the Rebbe Levi Tzibaditcheva said, "I'll tell you a mashal." He says there was once a polis who was hunting. All of a sudden, the skies opened up. It started to rain. It's gefährlich. And he was so uncomfortable. And finally, he got out of the forest and he sees a little kretschma. Belongs to him. There was a Yid that rents it from him. He's going to go to the kretschma. The Yid will treat him like royalty. He's the polis. He's going to give him fresh clothing. He's going to have good tea to drink. He'll have something to eat. He'll ask him for a room. He'll go to sleep. Whatever. Tomorrow, when it stops raining, he'll go home. Good idea? Comes into the Kretschma Achur. It's raining straight into the sky. From the sky, there's holes in the walls. There's holes in the ceiling. It's gefährlich. You think he has Rachmanis in the truth? He starts screaming at him. He says, "Meshigana, I rented you this place, so, I want a nice inn when people come to my country. And this is, you didn't think I'm ever going to come look at what you did with the inn? I'm renting it to you." So he said, "My dear poets, I knew one day you're going to come, but I didn't think you're going to show up so soon." So Levi Yitzchak said that story to him. And that was it. A few days later, he got sick. And he realized that the poets might be coming into the inn before he gets a chance to fix the leaks. So he called quickly for the Levi Yitzchak to come to his house. And the Levi Yitzchak sat with him, and he did tshuva, and he died as a Baal Tshuva. David Shalhalfen Take, that every one of us should have the Maila of the Baal Tshuva. The Alter Rebbe says, "Mokim Shabal Tshuva Oimdim Tzadikim Munei Mecholim Lam." The Alter Rebbe says in Perek Zayin and Tanya, because that a person has unbelievable energy. Why? Because the hate itself made him do tshuva, because he feels there's such a feeling of tziyah v'tzalmavis from the hate itself. So when a person does that high level of tshuva, that the hate itself made him do tshuva, then the hate turns in the mitzvah. And you know what? We already went over the time. That's really the answer to the Shalosh. The Shalosh says Rabbi Yochanan is right and Rabbi Bo is right. If you do this type of tshuva, the higher level of tshuva, then tzaddikim are lower than Bala tshuva, and tshuva is higher. If you do regular tshuva, takat tzaddikim are higher. David shall help them that every one of us, the koyach of Gimel Tammuz, and the week of Gimel Tammuz, that we should all taka zarena b'seshuva shleima lefanecha, that we should taka be in that taka tshuva, that all our zedonis, nasas, zachuyas, and many of us in Mitzvah Hashem will have unbelievable zachuyas.
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah.
That's times.
I also my father the Lelech Rebbe. Not the grandfather. He used to go to mikveh a lot. He used to ask him how dark days. He used to stand underneath the water for a long time.